Out a tape, and they're off, and they're running, and Principal in the centre, and Foinavon and Kirtleland and Rutherford's are the first to show, and it's Rutherford's on the inside from Principal and Foinavon. Then comes Kirtleland on the outside, coming towards the Melling Road now with Rutherford's the leader from Principal towards the outside. Kirtleland, Foinavon, Lucky Domino up there on the inner, and as they cross the Melling Road, Rutherford's, Lucky Domino, Principal, and over on the far side, Kirtleland, we join our country cameras and Bob Haynes.
And now to the first of the 30 fences, and Castle Falls is disputing it with Penvalgo and Principal. Those three jumped in together, and Barberin right up between them as they jump the first, and they're not all over because Bassnet is down, and Meon Valley is down, and Bopham Down has fallen. Those three are the fallers at the first, the leaders over the second, Penvalgo over from Barberin, then Principal on the inside of Castle Falls, then comes Capino. Then comes Kirtle Lad, Rutherford's, Lucky Domino, and April Rose. And now over the third, that's the open ditch. They're running on to the fourth, and it's Principal and Penvalgo from Rutherford's, Barberin and Kirtle Lad, and over to Michael O'Hare.
And as they come to this next fence, Castle Falls on the outside, and in the centre, Principal and Penvalgo. The Fossa not far behind these, Dunwitty just behind them too, as also is Barberin. Coming now to this next fence, which is the fence before Beechers, it's Penvalgo, who's just a leader with Principal, and then closely follows Barberin, Dunwitty, the Fossa, different class, Capino. These are all in a group together. Lucky Domino along the inside with Rutherford's. Coming now to Beechers. They're just approaching Beechers now with Penvalgo the leader. He's just ahead of Principal, and then comes Barberin, Dunwitty, Lucky Domino, Rutherford's, Castle Falls, and all over so far. A bad mistake there by Principal, but he got over it all right, and they all seem to be over Beechers all right. And turning now towards this next fence, the fence after Beechers, it is Penvalgo who leads from Principal. Rutherford is next, then Dunwitty, Lucky Domino, the Fossa, Rondetto. Then on the far side is Barberin, then Castle Falls, Capino comes next, then Ozzy, Harry Black, Leedsy, Freddie, then Quinton Bay and Norther. These are the leaders as they go over the canal turn with Penvalgo the leader from Principal, who's being followed along on the inside by Rutherford's. Then Dunwitty, Castle Falls is next, and on the far side of Castle Falls is Barberin. The Fossa, different class, going smoothly. Just behind them is Rondetto and also Capino. And as they go now to this next fence with Penvalgo, the leader from Rutherford's, I hand over to Michael Smith.
And Johnny Lehane giving Penvalgo the most wonderful ride. He's giving him a wonderful view of all his fences. He's over first. Rutherford's made a bad mistake there. Quintin Bay and Barberin and Principal are up with the leaders, and Castle Falls on the wide outside going very well, and I can see John Lawrence on Northern not far behind the leaders as they come to this next fence, and Kirtle Lad is going up to join the leaders. I'll try and give you the order as they come up to the next. It's Principal and Rutherford's from Kirtle Lad, Castle Falls, Penvalgo, the Fossa, Stan Meller giving a great ride to the Fossa. He's only a length behind the leaders as they go over the next. Capino made a slight mistake there. Freddie going very nicely on the inside, about 12 lengths behind the leaders, and David Mole having a quick look round on his shoulder on different class. He's only about 6 lengths behind the leaders, but with Principal and Kirtle Lad and Rutherford's, the three leaders as they recross the Melling Road at Anchor Bridge back to the grandstand.
Principal, Kirtle Lad, then comes Rutherford's. Castle Falls towards the outside, then Rondetto, then Quinton Bay. Barberin is right up with them. Penvalgo, then different class. And they're levelling up to come to the next now, with Principal disputing it with Castle Falls towards the outside, Kirtle Lad on the inner, then Rutherford's, then Rondetto just in behind them, and then comes different class. Just in behind different class is Quinton Bay. Norther there on the outside, and as they jump this one, it's Principal just the leader from Castle Falls, Rutherford in third place, then comes Kirtle Lad, then the Fossa. Just behind the Fossa is Capino, with Quinton Bay towards the outside, then Norther, then Barberin, then comes Game Purston, and Castle Falls on the outside, right up here with Principal. Then Rutherford's on the far side with Kirtle Lad, then Rondetto, then the Fossa, then Quinton Bay, then Capino, then Norther, then comes different class, Leedsy. Behind Leedsy is Greek Scholar, and as they jump the chair, it's Castle Falls on the inside, then Principal, Rutherford's on the far side, and then Kirtle Lad, and these four just ahead of Rondetto. Then comes the Fossa. Behind the Fossa is Capino, then Greek Scholar, then Quinton Bay, and then Leedsy, and different class and Norther, and then comes Penvolgo, and then Kilburn and Freddie. Behind Freddie is Lime King, and then Barbara and Ossie. Behind Ossie is Harry Black, and then on the inside Red Alligator with Game Person and Lucky Domino and Solbina and What a Myth. And behind What a Myth is Honey End, and then comes Bobber Job. Behind Bobber Job is Tower Road, and then comes Steel Bridge, then Scottish Final and Packed Home, and then Foinavon, and behind Foinavon is Ross C, and behind Ross C is Dunwiddy, and Ariel is just jumping the water. He's about 2 furlongs behind the leaders, and now it's Curtle Lad on the inside, Rutherford's on the outer, then comes Principal, then Castle Falls, then Capino. Behind Capino is Rondetto and Greek Scholar, and that's the order as they come to the next, and we rejoin Bob Haynes.
This is fence number 17, and there's still an awful lot left standing, and the loose horse jumped it first, but right up just in behind that is Curtle Lad, Rutherford's, then Principal, Castle Falls, Capino, Rondetto, then the Fossa, then comes Greek Scholar, then comes Leedsy and Norther and different class, and after that Quinton Bay. Now on towards fence number 19, the open ditch again, and it's Rutherford's from Curtle Lad on the inside. Then comes Principal, then Rondetto, who's going terribly well, I think, at the moment. Then comes Castle Falls, Greek Scholar, Leedsy. Then comes Quinton Bay and different class and Barberin, and on to the next plain fence, 2 before Beaches, and over to Michael O'Hare.
And it's Curtle Lad along the inside, Principal in the centre, Castle Falls out on the outside with Capino just behind him, the Fossa just behind these two, and a different class moving smoothly with Rondetta, and Norther is just behind the leaders too. Castle Falls on the extreme outside now is just the leader over this, and as they're heading now towards Beaches for the second time, it is Castle Falls with Principal, Capino, Rondetto, Rutherford along the inside, the Fossa, Northerner, then Curtle Lad and Greek Scholar together, and here they are at Beaches and over Beaches. The loose horse is over in front. He doesn't seem to interfere with anything. Rutherford's lost a bit of ground there, but he's all right, and they're turning out of the fence after Beaches, and as they do, the leader is Castle Falls with Rutherford's along the inside, and Rutherford has been hampered, and so has Castle Falls. Rondetto has fallen, Principal has fallen, Norther has fallen, Curtle Lad has fallen, the Fossa has fallen. There's a right pile up. Leedsy has climbed over the fence and left his jockey there, and now with all this mayhem, Foinavon has gone off on his own. He's about 50, 100 yards in front of everything else. They're all pulling up, having a look now to see what's happening at the fence. Ossie is jumping over it now. Quinton Bay is climbing over it. And as they go now to the canal turn, the one that's going to the canal turn happens to be Foinavon. And he's 100 yards in front of Curtle Lad, and then comes Packed Home, Quinton Bay and Ossie together. Greek Scholar is next, and the mess is almost over now as they're coming now to Valentine's. At least when I say they're coming, it's Foinavon who's coming. And he is roughly 200 yards in front of everything else. Foinavon, Ossie is second, Packed Home is third, and then come Quinton Bay and Greek Scholar together over Valentine's. Well, the leader is at the fence ahead. That's Foinavon, and over to Michael Seth Smith.
Well, this is the most incredible national. Foinavon, I've never seen a horse at this stage of the race so far. He's going quite easily. He ran in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and we didn't think much of his chance there, but as he comes to the next, he's nearly a fence in front, and he jumps in, and he's jumping very well. This blinkered horse, Foinavon, he's literally 200 yards in front of the second horse, who's Packed Home, and then comes Ossie, and behind them Greek Scholar. Terry Biddlecombe trying to make up the ground, but Foinavon's going so well, I don't think he can possibly be caught, but he jumped the next rather badly. He's still over 100 yards in front. Ossie in second place. Terry Biddlecombe coming up, full of running on Greek Scholar, but they're a long way back. It's just a question of whether Foinavon can maintain his lead, and as he goes over the Melling Road again at Anchor Bridge, he's still over 150 yards in front, with Terry Biddlecombe on Greek Scholar in second place, trying to get on terms. Ossie third, Packed Home fourth, and with that, back to the grandstand.
Still a long way clear. Foinavon, the only one that missed the melee at Beaches, with Greek Scholar chasing him now. Then comes Ossie, then comes Packed Home. Honey End is finishing like a train just in behind him, and it's still Foinavon a long way clear from Greek Scholar in second place. Ossie is third, Honey End has now moved into fourth, and he's running on like a train behind him. But coming to the second last now, it's Foinavon and John Buckingham. Blinkered Foinavon a long way clear. Greek Scholar is second, Honey End is fourth. Coming to the second last in the National now, and Foinavon is over. He's towering, but he's well clear. Greek Scholar and Honey End jumping together. Honey End's jumped in second. He's moved into second place now. Coming to the final fence, and Foinavon a long way clear of Honey End in second place. Greek Scholar is third. It may still be a race. Honey End is still making ground, but Foinavon is over and clear, about 150 yards ahead of Honey End, who's still driving on into second place. Third is Greek Scholar. Fourth is Red Alligator, who's finishing fast. Then comes Packed Home, but it's Foinavon holding Honey End as they race towards the line. Foinavon, the unconcerned It's hit it outside and John Buckingham holding Josh Gifford on Honey End. Then comes Greek Scholar and Red Alligator. They're racing up towards the line now, and it's Foinavon who missed that melee at Beeches, going well clear to a fantastic Grand National triumph. Honey End is second, Red Alligator's coming up to be third, and at the line John Buckingham looks over his shoulder, sees there's no danger, ears pricked. Foinavon wins the National. Honey End is second, third is Red Alligator, fourth is Greek Scholar, then packed home, and then comes Solvina behind Solvina.
And so the fence after Beecher's Brook got its name. Foinavon won the 1967 Grand National at 100 to 1. John Buckingham was on board. Ultimately ran out a 15-length winner over Honey End in second, the 15 to 2 favourite. Red Alligator ran on into third at 30 to 1 with Greek Scholar fourth at 20 to 1. 18 horses finished at the 1967 National, and with the exception of Foinavon, all of them suffered some sort of misfortune at the 23rd fence. A great win for Foinavon, who still had to jump 7 fences, the 7 remaining fences, without company, and this was a triumph for owner Cyril Watkins, jockey John Buckingham and trainer John Kempton.